the barbaric Arabic Islamic world.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. If you're watching this video and it's Salah time, please pause it and go pray and come back when you're done. Please check out the description section of this video to support the channel. So I was sent some clips of a fellow named Mahyar Tousi, I think that's how you pronounce it, attending his idol Tommy Robinson's latest nationalist rally in London a few days ago. Before the march, however, Tommy was jailed under the Terrorism Act, so it was left to his fanboys to attend the failed get-together. I was aware of this guy as I've seen his content pop up here and there, but like most anti-Muslim people, I just ignore it. But you guys keep sending me stuff to react to, so here we are. Here's a clip of a hit piece he did on Brother Ali Dawah, where Tousi incites hatred in British people towards Muslims by fear-mongering against Islam.
If we don't make radical changes right now, we are going to be witnessing the end of Europe. Not just because of generic multiculturalism and the rise of leftist liberalism, but also specifically Islamism. They are publicly telling us what they want to do to us. One of these preachers in Britannia, they are telling us what we want. This political ideology has been going on for centuries. It's sold to us as a faith. It's about coercion, it's about centralization of powers, it's about saying, hey, we are talking in a compassionate way, we want to help you, we want to save you from yourselves. The barbaric Arabic Islamic world. They use propaganda, they use your emotions, they use that to trigger you, and then they say, I have a solution for you. Submit to Mohammed. And then that's how they get you.
As you saw, Tousi undermines the fact that Islam is a world religion by calling it an ideology. He also paints Brother Ali as an extremist, a man who is a revert that formerly lived a very non-Islamic lifestyle until he became Muslim. He also falsely claimed Islam coerces people into becoming Muslim. So he's basically telling people that they'll be forcefully converted. In the Quran, it tells us there is no compulsion in religion, so it's forbidden in our religious scriptures to force anyone to become Muslim. The irony is, what Tousi is accusing Muslims of is what he does himself, grifting his followers with anti-Muslim rhetoric that manipulates them emotionally for views, follows and financial gain. He also borders on racism with the statement he made about the barbaric Arabic Islamic world. Outside of the bigotry, two things are wrong with this statement. Firstly, Arabs make up less than 15% of all Muslims worldwide, and secondly, he clearly hasn't been to a first world Gulf country where thousands of Westerners have migrated to because of the high standard of living. Tousi claimed Islamists, which is a degrading word people like him use to describe Muslims, want to take over Europe, when the reality is we're just regular people like everyone else that are in fact a tiny minority with no plans of overthrowing Europe or power to do so. Plus, Europe would never let it happen anyway. What's crazy is this so-called British patriot who has a problem with Muslims and Islam isn't even from Britain. He is in fact born in Iran. You can't make this stuff up. Here he is grovelling to Farage, telling good old Nigel how he's different from the rest of the savages who migrate to the UK.
Your background is fascinating. Born in Iran.
Yes, in Tehran, capital, yeah. My parents' family got into trouble.
Yes.
My mother had to come here as a political refugee, a proper political refugee, and then I came as a kid. Of course, under 18, I was allowed to basically come. And people like my family, this type of, well, if you want to call them migrants or refugees, when we came here, ended up in a council state, the proper integrated refugees and migrants who are here, including first wave, these are the people who are complaining more about the illegal migrants. White liberal lefties who tell me that, why are you complaining?
So apart from the blatant promotion of alcohol, which contributes to massive mental and physical health problems and is a substance forbidden in Islam, there's so much wrong with this segment. Tousi said his family came to the UK as refugees, as did he. So basically, he's an Irani immigrant born in Tehran, claiming to Farage that he's not as bad as those other immigrants. As you saw in the clip, Tousi also had a pop at native white Brits who are liberal. Using the far right's logic, is that not overstepping the mark? As a guest in this country, because you weren't born here, are you allowed to disrespect indigenous British people just because they're leftists? Better call Tommy Robinson in jail, Tousi, and check if it's okay for you to do that. And as you saw in the first clip I showed you, where Tousi spoke about Ali Dawah, he seems quite brave behind the screen, but he tends to fold in the presence of British Muslims that challenge him with common sense. Let's take a look at him attending Tommy Robinson's latest failed march and being humbled by a British-born Muslim brother from Luton.
There we go. Actually, we could start drinking. So that's my whiskey bottle. They're calling me a Nazi. Police are now up the line between them. Oh, whoa. Free society. But apparently we're not allowed that. against fascism.
Targeting Muslims.
Stop attacking Jews and Christians and Muslims. Everybody.
Why do you hate on Muslims?
No, I don't hate Muslims.
You do. You spread so much division.
I have a problem with Islam, but not Muslim. I have a problem with Islam, but not Muslims.
Just want to get on with their lives.
Exactly. The government needs to listen to them.
Asian working class people in
Yeah.
Luton and Birmingham and
Yeah.
Bradford, they have the same material concerns. Mum and my sister.
No one.
Poured on their hijabs, ripped up.
I didn't do it.
Why don't you spread a message of peace and unity?
It's
Why
about
not talk
everybody.
against racism? We've seen a 600%. When people were rioting, they were shouting Tommy Robinson. When they were punching Pakistanis in the face.
No one's punching Pakistanis.
What happened in Hartlepool? What happened in Hartlepool?
Should racism be a crime?
Of course it's a crime.
How is racism be a crime?
I'm from Luton.
No, but
You know who's stealing Yaxi Lennon?
no. For the record,
You know who's stealing Yaxi Lennon sells cocaine for Asians? You know that?
He's got Muslim friends. Tommy has Muslim friends.
We're from Luton.
No, let's get going.
Ask Tommy, he still sells cocaine for Pakistanis.
By the way,
Do you know that?
I respect
He's a
Hijab,
grifter,
and
bro.
personally, I can speak for me. Personally, I don't have a
Do you know
problem
what he
with
did? He come to Discover Islam Centre, the other day.
Yeah.
Do you know how much that does for the pensioners in Luton? They're cutting the fucking winter fuel payment. Who's standing up for the pensioners? Muslim community are standing up for white working class people.
Well done. I have a problem with the ideology of Islam.
We're standing up for white
Exactly,
working class,
and I'll support you.
Tommy doesn't, mate. Tommy's done nothing for the people.
Yeah,
that
it's
are
different. Muslims are individuals, they're humans. They have to leave them alone.
Let's bring it to the Facebook.
Why are you running away? Not during the summer.
Yeah.
I know Muslim women that had their headscarves ripped off, minding their own business.
Well, I didn't support the riots.
Hear me out, yeah? I know Muslim women that were locked up, right, in their homes. They were terrified. They were having panic attacks. They're locking up their shop. People in Merseyside getting beaten up on the street.
Yeah.
Why aren't people like yourself condemning that openly?
Violence is wrong.
You know what the elders did? They said to the kids, get off the streets. Far right people bringing their kids while they're trying to burn down homes. What's that about? My elders came to this country after years of colonial rule. They worked the factories, the mills, the foundries. They worked bloody hard for this country. Worse wages, worse conditions, racist abuse on the streets. My dad used to get beaten. Right? He had to deal with all that. And 40 years later, I'm seeing people in Hartlepool, 30 of them ganging up on one Pakistani youth, pulling him the P-word and punching him in the face.
That's why I called that the riots.
I'm disappointed that you've been so misled.
I'm not misled by you. Do I sound like I'm misled?
Yes. People that look like you are being attacked on the streets. You got Merseyside.
I'm not attacked.
No one's been attacked. Everything's fine. The people who attacked me today were not the other side. They were these guys on your side. They're white middle class champagne socialists who don't even pay their own taxes, but they say we care about the poor. They're on your side. They were the ones who pushed me out, like fascists, like a bunch of fascists.
Tommy Robinson says, come to Luton and you'll never see a brown person with a white person. This is my boy Glenn Jenkins from Marshfield Estate. I'm from Luton, from Bury Park.
Good.
We always get on with each other.
That's nice. Good.
We've lived with each other all our lives.
Apart from the irony of Tousi's half-drunk live streams where he acts as if he's in danger when walking past passive leftists, whilst being surrounded by his personal security and the police, it is also ironic how he, a brown immigrant man from Iran, is scamming British natives into thinking they're being invaded and taken over. As a fellow brown person, I have to say, hats off to you, Tousi. You sure got them fooled. However, as a British-born person, I don't approve of these underhanded tactics. As you saw, while Tousi pretended to survive a near-death experience while strolling past harmless leftists, an educated brother stepped to him to ask why he hates Muslims, to which Tousi responded, I don't hate Muslims, I have a problem with Islam. This is actually a response coined by his hero Tommy Robinson, which is a buffer phrase used whenever he is questioned about the anti-Muslim views he holds. Throughout this video, I have given examples of Tousi saying less than complimentary things about Muslims, and that's just scratching the surface. There's plenty more online. The brother was right when he said to Tousi that Muslims just want to get on with their lives, and that minorities have the same concerns as non-minorities in Britain. And when the brother spoke about his mum and sister having black oil poured on their headscarves and having their hijabs ripped off their heads during the 2024 UK riots, all Tousi had to say was, I didn't do it. But the fact remains that you, Tousi, constantly put out Islamophobic content that fuels this type of anti-Muslim discrimination, and hence you are complicit in this. The brother also made great points when he said Islamophobia has risen by 600% recently, and that Tousi should be speaking against prejudice rather than fueling it. The brother also made the claim that Tommy Robinson is a grifter that that is selling illicit substances for Pakistanis in Luton, which wouldn't surprise me. I must also add, any person doing such illegal acts is not representing Islam in any capacity. Bro also debunked Tommy's recent claim that white and Muslim communities were not integrated in Luton by showing solidarity with his friend who happened to be white British, as well as stating the fact that it's Muslims that are looking out for the elderly British people in Luton, something Tommy has never done. He also made the point that Muslims told their kids to stay off the streets while the riots were happening, whereas on the other hand, the rioters took their kids out with them to take part. As a Muslim woman in the UK, I can confirm the claim that the brother made about the hijabi sisters being targeted and Muslim women being intimidated to leave their homes because of the summer riots. Even to this day, I still feel a little paranoid going out whilst being visibly Muslim. Tousi responded with violence is wrong, and though I agree, that doesn't change the fact that he indirectly instigates it through the views he propagates online. And Tousi's insincerity became even more apparent when he denied the brother's claim that a Pakistani Muslim man was punched in the face in Hartlepool during the riots by thugs chanting Tommy Robinson's name. I saw the video clip with my own eyes. I can't include it in this video for censorship reasons, but you can look it up on X and see for yourself. Tousi and many others like him are token people of colour. They're not about justice, they're about pandering to the side with more power for a pat on the back, or for clout or financial gain. A prime example of this was when Tousi's British Hindu cameraman said racism shouldn't be a crime, which Tousi agreed with. That's absolutely insane. How much of a self-hating bootlicker do you need to be to say that discrimination on the basis of skin colour isn't wrong? It is a crime, and it definitely should be a crime even when directed towards white people. And speaking of which, as you saw once again, Tousi, a non-British born immigrant, started taking shots at middle-class white British people. Make up your mind, Tousi. You're either a nationalist or you're not. Is it just me, or do you guys notice that it's mostly Iranis and Indians and the odd self-hating Pakistani that does the token dance? It's so cringe. Let's look at the last clip where a Muslim brother from Liverpool debunks the far right's two-tier policing and pro-Israel claims.
An example of two-tier policing is, say, an official government inquiry by Sir William McPherson into the killing of Stephen Lawrence. By Sir William McPherson found that the police are institutionally racist. That is two-tier policing. 10 years later, the top officer in the country said, of course the police are institutionally racist. Society itself is inherently racist. Stopping search is an official police procedure, policy that we've got the statistics. It's been targeted against ethnic people. Crimes against the poorest people are investigated. Yes, the most affluent members of society, crimes against them are over-investigated. That is two-tier police.
I agree with that.
When we say hate marches, we've seen the riots, and the riots weren't the Palestinian marches. A Christian man killed 3 innocent Christian children, and people like you deliberately disinformed and misinformed the country and said it was a Muslim, and that's what it is.
I didn't say Muslim, but you support the Palestinians, but you support them.
I support freedom, I support equality,
freedom and
I support
free speech.
Human rights.
Everyone, free to be right wing and left wing.
Every Palestinian and Israeli should have equal rights.
And that also means left wingers and right wingers.
Able to buy land in Israel.
The brother was spot on when he cited historic incidents in Britain like Stephen Lawrence losing his life as to why two-tier policing is a propaganda lie made up by grifters like Tommy Robinson and Nigel Farage and their counterparts to drum up support for their causes. But we don't even have to go that far back. Look at what happened to Chris Gaba last week. He was taken out by armed police whilst unarmed. There is no preferential treatment for minorities or Muslims from the police. Add to that, former police officers attend Tommy Robinson marches. This notion that the majority white non-Muslim British police force would discriminate against the majority white non-Muslim British public is absurd. It's a complete con job, and if you fell for it, you're a fool. The brother gave examples of high-ranking police officers admitting to institutional racism, and in regards to Palestinian marches, the British-born brother from Liverpool was 100% right when he said pro-Palestine marches are not hate marches like the riots were, and that every Palestinian deserves the same rights as Israelis. To wrap up, I will share with you about my heritage. 5 generations of my Muslim family have integrated into Britain. My Muslim husband's grandfather served in the British Army during the Second World War. My Muslim great uncle who worked for the UN married a native white British woman, and their kids married non-Muslim native Brits too. I have uncles, aunties, cousins, nieces and nephews that are white Brits. We all respect each other and we all see each other as family. I choose to practice Islam and to dress religiously while respecting the laws of the country I call home. I am entitled to speak up for my Islamic point of view if I see things I feel are going wrong in this country, and to suggest solutions to make improvements. I don't need a rage-baiting Irani-born migrant posing as a patriot who selectively disrespects the British government when it suits him, while at the same time egging them on when they fund Israel, to tell me to leave the country where I was born. Someone please check if this man who hates other immigrants even has a UK passport. And while you're at it, someone tell Tousi that tokens come a dime a dozen. But what's certain is, tokens always get spent. This country is all of ours. White, non-white, Muslim, non-Muslim. You don't have to grovel at the feet of bigots to be accepted. We all make up the culture through our commonalities and our differences as long as we live with mutual respect even when we disagree. Thank you for watching. Make sure to join my free Telegram group via the link in the description, where we as Muslims can speak freely and without censorship about issues like this. And remember to like, subscribe and become a channel member for access to exclusive content. Until next time, inshallah, Jazakallah khair.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah.